The Fire in the Forest, HFY Sci-Fi. Simple English, third person. Approximately 800 words. The forest was silent. No birds. No wind. No animals. Only the sound of fire crackling softly in the cold air. Callan sat beside the small campfire, watching the flames rise. He was alone, a human scout, dropped on this alien planet to test the environment. His ship was parked 1 mile east, hidden behind a line of tall black trees. He had been here for 2 days. The planet was safe so far. No storms, no predators, no radiation. It almost felt too quiet. That evening, Callan found an old spear near the edge of the river. It was stuck in a rock, as if someone had left it there long ago. It was heavy, carved, with strange symbols, but it was sharp. He smiled. Perfect for cooking. Now, as the stars came out above him, Callan used the old spear to roast strips of alien meat over the fire. The smell filled the air, warm, smoky, delicious. He leaned back, relaxed for the first time in days. That's when he heard it. A voice, not loud, not close, but clear. You cook well, human. Now your species is on the menu. Callan jumped up. He spun around, weapon ready, eyes scanning the darkness. Nothing. The fire crackled behind him. No footsteps. No wind. No one. He looked into the trees. Still nothing. Who's there? He called out. No answer. But his skin prickled. He felt watched. He stayed awake for hours. Eyes open, body tense. But the forest stayed quiet. Too quiet. The next morning, Callan went back to the river. The spear was gone. He searched the ground. No tracks. No sign of movement. The rock where the spear had been. It was split in two, cleanly, as if something massive had crushed it. Callan's breath grew shallow. This isn't normal, he muttered. He pulled out his drone and scanned the area. Still no life forms detected. But just as he turned to leave, the drone made a strange beep. Signal found. Unknown life form distance. 14 meters. Direction. Behind you. Callan spun around fast. Still nothing. No trees moving. No heat. No light. But the drone kept beeping. The signal stayed there, unseen, watching. Then it vanished. That night, he didn't light a fire. He sat in darkness, clutching his rifle, listening. He replayed the voice in his mind. You cook well, human. Now your species is on the menu. It wasn't just a threat. It was a mark. The next morning, Callan returned to his ship. He paused at the edge of the tree line and froze. There, on the side of his ship, was a long, deep claw mark. 5 lines, perfectly spaced. Too straight to be natural. Too big to be human. He touched the metal. It was melted at the edges, like something had burned through it. With a claw, Callan sent a message to command. I think I made contact. With something, no visual, just sound. It marked my ship, but the signal bounced back jammed. He tried again. Nothing. He wasn't alone anymore. And whoever or whatever was here. It didn't want him calling for help. That night, Callan heard movement near the camp. He aimed his weapon. The fire was low, but the smoke rose high. Then he saw it, just for a second. A tall shadow, not running, not hiding. Just watching. Then it faded, like mist in the trees. He didn't sleep. His body was tired, but his fear kept him sharp. And in the early morning light, he found something new. Something terrifying, just outside the camp. Bones, but not animal bones, not alien either. They were human. Clean, burned, arranged in a circle around a single word, written in ash. Next. Callan didn't move for a long time. He stood there, staring at the bones. Human bones, burned and clean, placed carefully in a circle. In the center, the word written in ash. Next. His hands shook, not from fear, but from something worse. He was being hunted. He slowly backed away, rifle tight in his grip. Something was watching him, not from far, not from above, but from here. From this forest. He checked the bones again. Some were cracked. Like teeth had been there. Big ones. He scanned the area again. No life forms, no signals. Just the quiet hum of wind. And something beneath it. A growl. Soft. Deep. Too close. Callan ran back to his ship. When he got there, the doors were wide open. He was sure he'd locked them. Inside. Nothing was broken, but something had been inside. Food packs were torn open. Not eaten, sniffed, and tossed aside. Mud prints tracked across the floor. Not boots, clawed feet. He checked the security cam feed. At 2:46 a.m., static filled the screen. For 6 seconds. Then one frame showed something. One frame. It was tall. Very tall. Covered in what looked like armor, but it moved like flesh. Its face was hidden, but its mouth glowed red like burning coal. In its hand, the old spear. He froze the frame and zoomed in. There, on the spear, was a symbol. Not just a pattern. A mark. He searched the base data for matches. And found it. Predator. Class. Bone chaser. Status. Extinct. Last sighting. 11,000 years ago. The report said they didn't invade planets. They didn't conquer. They hunted for sport, and once they marked a species, they hunted them forever. Callan sat back, shaking. He had used their spear. He had called them, and now they had marked humanity. That night, he set traps around the camp. Motion sensors, drones, shock wires. He stayed inside the ship, tracking all. Sensors. But at 3:11 a.m., they all failed. All at once. No noise. No alert. Just one new sound breathing. Behind him. He turned fast, but saw nothing. Then a shadow moved across the wall. Not his. Not natural. It had claws. Long arms. 2 glowing eyes. He fired. The bullet passed through empty air, but the wall behind him cracked, as if something invisible had slammed it. He grabbed a flare and lit it. For 1 second, the room exploded in red light, and there it was. A full body. View of the hunter. It was crouched in the ceiling corner. Watching. Smiling. Then it vanished without a sound. Callan ran. Into the forest. Into the cold. He didn't care about rules or orders. He needed distance. But after 100 meters, he saw something that stopped him cold. Another spear, standing upright. And beside it, a helmet. Not alien. A human helmet. It had blood on it and a name. Scratched in the side. S. Reyna. His sister. He fell to his knees. Reyna? She was lost on a deep space mission 6 years ago. Declared dead, but the helmet was fresh. The blood was fresh. Suddenly, his wrist beeped. Static. Then a voice, not the alien one, a human voice. A female, weak, strained. Callan, is that you? He stood up fast. Reyna, where are you? But the voice was gone. Static again. Only one word remained on the screen, marked. The forest stood still. Not a leaf moved. Not a sound in the air. But inside Callan's chest, his heart raced like thunder. The name scratched on the helmet. Reyna. His sister. 6 years gone. Lost on a scout mission. Declared dead. No wreckage. No distress call. Now her name appeared. On a blood-stained helmet, beside the ancient spear. Callan picked up the helmet slowly. His hands shook. Could she still be alive? He looked around. The trees whispered quietly, too quietly. He activated his wrist again. Reyna, can you hear me? Only static. Then, a soft laugh. Not hers. Not human, but close. Mocking. Suddenly, The ground beneath him shook. A low hum rose from the forest floor, like a buried engine waking after centuries. The trees trembled not from wind, but from something under them. Callan looked up. One tree near him was moving, not swaying, breathing. The bark peeled, open like skin, and from it stepped a creature, tall, silent, older than the planet. Its body was half organic, half metal, bones for armor, flesh between wires, eyes like molten stone. It held the spear again, but now it burned blue. The hunter was no longer hiding. It had woken fully, and it was beautiful and terrifying. Callan took a step back. The creature didn't move. It tilted its head. Then spoke. Your kind tasted flame once. You forgot. We did not. Callan raised his rifle. I'm not afraid of you. The hunter didn't laugh. It stepped closer. You should be. Suddenly, Callan's drone flew in, armed with a flash charge. The drone exploded in light. The forest lit up. The creature vanished again, like smoke. Callan ran. Back to the ship. Back to safety. But the forest wasn't the same anymore. Everything around him was watching. Inside the ship, Callan sealed the doors. He uploaded the video of the hunter to the onboard database, searching for species match. Match found. Name: Bone Chaser Class, Apex Hunter Intelligence, High Known Behavior, Hunts by marking species, sees intelligent life as worthy prey. Survival rate 0% per known records. Last encounter 11,000 years ago. Entire civilization wiped. One survivor recorded. We lit fire, it answered. Marking method: ritual spear. Signal of hunt accepted. Cullen stared at the screen. He had used the spear, roasted meat with it. He had unknowingly accepted the challenge, but it wasn't just about him. He found a second file, a transmission buried in the system from Raina's old call sign. If you find this, you've been marked. They don't kill all at once. They learn. They want to know what we fear. Then they pass the message on to others. Her voice was weak. They used me to lure others. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Callan slammed his fist on the console. They're hunting humanity. Not just him, not just Raina. The whole species. And Earth had no idea. Outside, the sky began to change. A ripple in the stars, like something massive moving just outside orbit. Callan looked up and whispered, "What did I bring here?" Then his ship's radar blinked. Incoming object, not a ship class. Unknown shape. Predator POD. It wasn't a rescue. It wasn't a message. It was a delivery. Another hunter was coming. Or worse, a collection unit. Suddenly, the ground shook again. Something stepped onto the ship roof. Slow, heavy, sharp claws, tapping on metal. Callan pointed his gun upward. The ceiling above him dented. A bossy, low growl filled the room. And then a whisper in the vents. One of you ran last time. Not again. The ceiling creaked again. Callan didn't breathe. He stood frozen beneath the steel roof of his ship, gripping his rifle. Claws dragged slowly across the metal above him. Not rushing. Not attacking. Just waiting. Like the creature enjoyed this. Part. Then silence. He looked up. The roof dent had stopped moving. Was it gone? He crept to the ladder leading up to the top hatch. Step by step. No sound. Until his wrist blinked. A soft beep. Incoming voice transmission. Source unknown. He pressed it open. A broken whisper answered. Callan, listen. He froze. It was Raina again. The voice sounded weak, like it was coming from underground, or from a dying signal. Raina? Where are you? He whispered. They used me. Don't let them reach Earth. Then the signal broke. Second voice came through the static. Not hers. Deeper. Older. She ran. You fight. You both entertain us differently. The cum cut off. The air inside the ship grew colder, as if something was pulling the warmth out of the walls. He ran to the console and typed fast. Emergency message to Earth Command. High priority. This is Callan, Scout Unit 09. I'm on Planet RX-7Z. I've made contact with an ancient predator. Species, bone chaser. They are not extinct. They are active. They hunt intelligent species for sport. By using a sacred object and old spear, I triggered the hunt. They've marked me. They've marked humans. Earth is next unless we act. Do not send rescue. Send warning. And check files on Scout Reyna. She's alive. Or something is using her voice. Repeat. We've been marked. The hunt has begun. He hit send. Nothing. Transmission blocked. He tried the long wave. Antenna manual override. Still blocked. Then the console blinked. Transmission received. Response coming. But it wasn't Earth that replied. A red screen lit up. Alien symbols flooded across it. They shifted into English letters. Words formed. Earth has heard the fire before. This time, it will not survive it. Suddenly, alarms blared. The ships. Scanners picked up something in orbit. Huge. Not a ship. Not even alive. Something ancient. Something mechanical. The sky outside turned black. The stars vanished, blocked by a massive shape. Callan stepped outside. Above him, a ring-shaped structure floated. It wasn't built. It had grown from bones, metal, and dark energy. It spun slowly, humming like a heartbeat. A hunting gate. Not just for this planet. It was a gate for others. Earth was next. He ran back in and powered up his emergency beacon. One signal still had a chance. It was old tech. Untraceable by alien systems. As he activated it, the screen blinked one last time. A final message appeared. Not from the creature, but from his sister. I tried to stop them. I failed. Callan, I'm not the same anymore. But if you survive, tell them what we were, and tell them to run. Tears burned in his eyes. He sent the signal, then armed his rifle. He stepped out into the forest. Again, he didn't run. Not this time. The trees were quiet, but something massive moved behind them. He whispered to himself, let them come. Let them see. Humans aren't prey anymore. The forest was darker than before. The sky above had turned gray. The ring-shaped hunter gate still floated in orbit, silent, watching. Callan walked through the trees, rifle in hand. He knew he wasn't alone. He could feel the eyes behind him, beside him, above him. But he didn't run. Not this time. He reached the place where he first found the spear. Now, the ground was marked with strange carvings in the dirt, glowing faint red. Warning signs. This was a sacred place. Not for worship, for killing. Branch snapped to his left. He turned fast, gun ready. A shape moved through the fog. Then, voice. Not the hunter's deep growl. This one was familiar. Soft, weak, human. Callan. He froze. Reyna? She stepped out from the trees, but she looked wrong. Her eyes were silver. Her arms had strange marks, burned into her skin. She walked slowly. Like every step hurt. He dropped the gun and ran to her. You're alive? She smiled, but it was sad. I'm not the same, she whispered. They kept me, studied me, changed me. He held her shoulders. I thought you were dead. I was, for a while. But they brought me back, not to save me, but to see what would happen. Her eyes filled with tears. They called me the unfinished prey. Suddenly, the air changed. Reyna looked up, panicked. They're coming. They don't like this part. When prey begins to hope. The trees shifted. The Bone Chaser stepped out from the mist. Massive, calm, ready. It looked at both of them. You've run. You've cried. Now you fight. Good. Let the test begin. Cowan pulled his gun again. I'm not running. The Predator circled them slowly. Your kind runs well. Screams well. But you're learning. Then it lunged. Cowan fired direct hit. But the creature only staggered. Then it roared louder than thunder. Trees shook. Birds fled. Air cracked. Raina grabbed Callan's hand. Use the mark, she said. What mark? She pointed to the spear. It's not just a weapon. It's a bond. It remembers who fights back. Callan grabbed the spear. It burned in his hand, but it didn't hurt. Instead, it felt like power waking up, like fire remembering it once belonged to man. He spun and struck as the creature charged again. This time, the hit left a scar. A real one. The hunter paused, confused. Blood dripped from its shoulder. No one had done that in centuries. You learn fast. It growled. We're not your prey anymore, Callan said. Raina stepped forward, too, her hands glowing faintly. I carry part of you now, she said, but I still remember who I am. The creature looked between them. Then smiled. You've passed. Callan blinked. What? You did what few ever do. You wounded a Bone Chaser and stood without fear. The hunter lowered its weapon. But now the real hunt begins. Suddenly, the sky flashed red. From the orbiting gate above, something awoke. Dozens of lights blinked across its surface. Portals opened, and from them, others stepped through. Bigger, faster, smarter. The real hunters. The Bone Chaser looked at Cowan and said one final thing. You were the test. Earth is the prize. Then it vanished. Cowan turned to Raina. They're coming. She nodded. But now they know humans don't kneel. The sky was bleeding. Not with rain. Not with fire. But with ship's dark shapes pouring from the Bone Chaser. Gate. Silent. Hungry. Each one shaped like a fang. Each one carrying a hunter. Cowan stood on the hill with Raina beside him. Behind them, the trees burned. The old forest was gone. The spear in Callan's hand pulsed red-hot. It didn't shake. It wanted war. Raina touched her chest. I feel them. How many? Too many. A voice crackled on Callan's comb. This is Earth Command. We received your signal. The sky opened above us. We're under attack. Then, silence. Callan clenched his jaw. We're out of time. Raina nodded. Then we make a message they'll never forget. They returned to the ship. Callan connected the ancient spear to the power core. It fit like it was made for it. Energy. Surge. The ship lit up with ancient red symbols. He tapped the console. A message blinked. Hunter protocol accepted. Target. Bone Chaser Network. Raina climbed into the co-pilot's seat. I'm not who I used to be, she said quietly. But I can still choose who I fight for. Callan looked at her. You're still human enough for that. The ship launched through. The sky toward the hunter gate. As they rose, dozens of hunter ships turned to meet them. Missiles locked on. The gate opened wider, like a mouth ready to bite. Inside the ship, alarms screamed. Callan aimed at the center of the hunter ring. Just get me close, he said. Raina narrowed her glowing eyes. Then let's set the galaxy on fire. The first hunter ship attacked, firing plasma shots. Callan spun the ship low through the flames. Raina hacked their vision with her altered DNA, blinding the enemy for 5 seconds. Just enough. They broke through. One last shot. Callan aimed the key. Spear core cannon, and fired into the center of the gate. It hit. The gate shuddered. Then cracked. Then exploded all around them. Hunter ships lost control. Some vanished into fire. Some simply shut down dead. Like puppets without strings. The hunt stopped. The prey had bit back. But the blast hit their ship too. Systems failed. Engines died. The sky turned black again as they fell through it. Hours later, Callan opened his eyes. Ash was falling from the sky like gray snow. He lay in the wreckage, coughing. His arms burned. His side was bleeding, but he was alive. Then he heard footsteps. He grabbed a rock, ready to fight, but Reyna stepped through the smoke, bruised, weak, still standing. She smiled. You really broke their gate. He laughed once, then winced. Yeah, but I think my ribs are broken too. They looked up. Above them. The sky was clearing. No more hunter ships, no more shadows, just stars. Weeks later, Callan and Reyna stood on Earth again. Back home, the news called them heroes, but they didn't care about fame. They cared about one thing. The hunters aren't gods, Callan said. They can bleed. They can lose. And Earth was preparing now, not to run, but to hunt back. Final line. The fire that once called the Bone Chasers had returned to its owners. And this time, the flame belonged to humans. Wreath End.